Okay. So, I just got done watching Satan's Little Helper. And, you know, here's another movie that would probably be controversial to some people to watch. For one, I'm a Christian, and two, it's a movie that centers around a group of gay guys. But first of all, I'm not going to get into it. If anyone wants to have a discussion about that, feel free to ask me a question in the comments. I'm going to keep this very straightforward, and I'm not going to go into anything in specific. I'm just going to review the movie as is. So, Hellbent. This movie is one of the most entertaining and ferociously original slashers to come along in quite some time. A night filled with beautiful people, music, and dancing at the West Hollywood Halloween Carnival turns deadly for four gay guys. Or for gay friends, I'm sorry. When two men are found dead, two friends find that they are the killer's next target. No one knows who will survive the night. A wild, relentless ride filled with unexpected surprises and shocking scares. Ooh. Now, when I was looking for movies to review this year for Halloween month, I found this movie because it was a 2000 slasher, and I love 2000 slashers, whether it be hot garbage or surprisingly like good hidden gems. It doesn't matter. I want to check them out because I miss that feeling of going to the video store and seeing a cool cover and wondering if that film is good, because back then people didn't have the internet like we have it now. So people would pick up a cover and they didn't know if it would be good or not. I mean, I remember when I picked up the movie Dark Harvest, which I'll review later this month, or probably in the week to follow. You'll see it soon. But I remember I picked up the cover, or I picked up the movie, and I looked at the cover and I'm like, this looks cool. It's a Scarecrow movie. I want to go see this. So I saw the cover and I found out it was a slasher. I didn't really know much about it other than that it took place on Halloween, and that it was I think the first, I think this is the first movie I've seen where we follow gay protagonists. I don't know if that's true or not. I do recall walking into the movie Bros when that was in theaters. My mom decided to see that, and I walked in because my movie just got done. I saw Trick or Treat last year, and Bros was playing. Anyways, that's a story for myself. And anyways, nonetheless, so I wanted to check this out. This may be a controversial movie for me to talk about, but, you know, my faith stands with God. God knows my heart. That's all I need to say about that. So, okay, let me just say this from my perspective. I enjoyed this film. There are some things that I had issues with, but nonetheless, I enjoyed the film. That's all I'm going to say about it. But on to the movie. So it's about a group of gay friends on Halloween night are going to some sort of festival, and a guy in a Satan mask basically kills them one by one, and his way of killing them is by chopping off their head. And I was immediately hooked because the concept sounded cool, and it's a slasher. And I heard somewhat decent things about the film. Now, here was something I was not expecting in the film. I was not expecting to not only like our characters, but love our characters. This may be one of the first times where I talk about it in great detail, where I talk about how I like the characters. But man, I really like the characters in this film. They are, they're real people. They're friends. And you feel that in the film. You really get a sense that they are friends and they've hung out before. And that they love each other. And it's really cool to see a movie like this where they really just like be themselves, you know? Like, I really like that. I feel like most movies that have gay protagonists, they either shoehorn them in for some sort of agenda or to just not really add much. And And I said the same thing about Halloween Kills, and why I liked Big John, Little John is because they felt like a real couple. They didn't try to say anything political. They were just normal dudes, and they love each other. And it was really cool to see that perspective in this film, where you really get a sense that they are friends and they've known each other for a long time, and everything they say feels real. None of it feels fake. The writing especially helps sells this film. And it's so weird saying that coming from an early 2000s slasher, because I picked up this movie expecting it to be some sort of garbage fest, not knowing that it was a movie about a group of gay guys, and you really get attached to these characters, and when they start dying, you really feel bad for them. The killer is cool, and the movie does a great job at not giving you information, but just the right amount of information at the same time about who this guy is, because we never really understand why he's killing these people. We don't even know if he's like homophobic, or if he's a religious freak or something. We don't know who this guy is. We get some subtle hints as to why he may be doing this, but it's all left up to the imagination. And I've said it before, that's what makes good villains creepy, is when you don't know what their motive is. That's why Michael Myers is really scary, because you don't know why he's doing it. He's the embodiment of evil. And I think they did a really good job at portraying the villain in this film. And again, with the characters, I really liked the characters, and how you really felt like they know each other, they're friends, and when they start dying by this sick man, you really feel bad. And now, I should mention that if you're not a fan of slashers, you won't like this film. And the one issue that I have with most slashers, and it's present in this film too, but I think it works at least in this film's advantage, kind of similar to how I feel about Hellfest, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But in fact, that'll be the next review, so stay tuned for that. But specifically with Hellfest and Hellbent, a lot of the movie is our group of characters just partying. It's not like, The Godfather, where everything is happening and like there's so many little story details. It's not like Jaws, where you get to know the characters, but it actually like plays into the story. It's like, no, the movie has a very formulaic story. It's just these characters partying, having a good time on Halloween night, and the guy just starts killing them. That's really it in terms of story. And a lot of slashers do that. But in the case of this, and Hellfest, which I'll talk about in that film, is that because you like the characters so much, you kind of get lost with them. Like you really get immersed in the situation they are put in. And you really feel like you're with them, having a good time, you're partying, and you don't really think about it until like the movie's over, and you're like, okay, it didn't have the most original story, but it was an entertaining watch. And on that note, the movie did not bore me. So I'm kind of obligated to say that, yeah, I enjoyed this movie. If you're a gorehound and a slasher fan like I am, you will like the kills in this film, because the kills are really cool and really creative. The movie has a really riveting, intense final act, and I was really like at the edge of myself, like, whoa, this is a really good final act. So, yeah, I really like this movie. I'm gonna give it an A-, guys. If you haven't, I'd recommend checking it out. Man, I think that's all I really have to say about this film. I liked it. As a Christian, I liked it. There's some things I disagree with, but you know what? At the end of the day, God loves everyone. As they say in VeggieTales, God made you special and he loves you very much. He loves everyone. And I like this movie, so I hope that wasn't controversial.